Hello, let's talk about love, a subject we all think about, look forward to, maybe stress about. Love is everywhere, love is around us, love is within us, and I want to do a tarot reading about a general love, what you need to know, maybe what you're going through, what you need to look forward to, etc. In case you didn't know, my name is Mimí Folco. I'm an astrologer, tarot reader, Reiki practitioner, all-around healer here at Harvey Alchemy, and I do these tarot readings once a week. Every Saturday morning I release them. Before we get to the reading, I have a couple of announcements. First off, as usual, I am doing a giveaway. So once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I am giving away prizes, some of which are readings. So tarot readings, astrology readings, maybe even a Reiki session or two. So all you need to do to enter is subscribe to this channel, go follow me on Instagram. Here's the handle. And then comment down below to let me know that you did those things so that I know to enter you into my giveaway. Next, what I wanted to announce is that I now have a referral system for my astrology readings. So if you refer a friend to me and they get an astrology reading, then you get 20% off of your next astrology booking. So basically you get a free 20% off of your next session. I love doing astrology readings. They're so much fun. There's such a portal into self-discovery and like opening up to what the planets have to say or the lessons that you need to learn and all of that. So just know that if you refer somebody to me for an astrology booking, then you get 20% off of your next astrology session. Next thing I wanted to announce is that I'm now doing a crystal of the month. Every month I'm announcing what crystal is the subject, and any candles on my website that have that crystal from the intention line or the charmed line are going to be at a discount. So this month, the crystal of the month is amethyst. And this is an example of one of the candles that I have on my website that has amethyst on it and is at a discount right now. And then also out of the intention line, I think the sobriety candle is also at a discount. And on top of that, I also have the zodiac candle of the season at a discount. So if it's Aquarius season, we've got the Aquarius candle at a discount. If it's Pisces season, we've got Pisces candle at a discount. So that is just something else to keep in mind. I am also offering Reiki on my website now. I have a 30-minute offering available, and I also have a donation-based 15-minute session. So if you don't really know what you want out of a Reiki session, or maybe you can't afford a full session, I do have a donation-based 15-minute booking. We can get to know each other. I can send a little bit of Reiki your way, do some energetic healing on your body, and it only takes 15 minutes out of your day, and whatever you can send to support me is greatly appreciated. And whatever I can do to support you, I love that opportunity to be able to help others on their healing journey. So all of these announcements I did send out through my newsletter. If you're subscribed to that, great, thank you so much. And if you're not and you want to know what's going on a monthly basis, you can go do that on my website, harveymountainalchemy.com. I send out a newsletter only once a month, just at the beginning of the month, a little information, tarot, astrology of the month, and any kind of sales that I've got going on and any new offerings that I'm sending out too. So if you want to do that, you can sign up for that newsletter at harveymountainalchemy.com. And so yeah, let's get into your reading. I've got your piles down on the table here, and yeah, let's go. Let's find out what is in store for you regarding love.
All right, so pile number 1, you've got this gardenia. Pile 2, you've got frangipani. And pile 3, you've got carnation.
All right, so pile number 1, you chose this gardenia card. Gardenia, listen to the divine whispers stirring in your heart. That is beautiful. So I'm going to pick some cards. I'm going to start with the Muse Tarot, and we're just going to see where you're at right now regarding love, regarding pile 1's love life. Okay, here we go. First off, we've got Temperance. Let's see what else comes out. All right. We've got Temperance, and we've got the 3 of Materials, which is the 3 of Pentacles. So right off the bat, what is going on with you regarding love? You are in this state of finding balance, of being able to determine how much love is appropriate, how much love is too much, how much isn't enough. I also think there's something about seeking optimism and maybe finding a silver lining when it comes to your love life right now. And love life, I mean, I am leaning towards romance. In this reading, I am leaning towards a romantic reading. But love is also shared within your friends. Love is shared within yourself. So really keeping in mind how much you are balancing in your life how much you are giving versus how much you are receiving, and how much you expect to receive versus how much you deserve to receive. So really being able to build something on top of those thoughts. How, just these questions as journal prompts, like, how much do I give? How much do I get? How much do I believe I deserve? And how much do I actually deserve, right? So being able to know your worth in those situations. This Temperance, she's very calm. She's very calm. And even in the dance, even in this beauty, it's kind of wild because this sort of looks like the gardenias to me. This like gardenia flower that we've got here. Really being able to balance and temper what it is you're giving and what it is that you're receiving. And knowing that they may come in waves, right? Accepting the waves as they come with an optimistic point of view. Understanding that when the moon is waning, it doesn't mean that it's stealing from you and you're being punished. It just means that the energy is going inward. So maybe you're going through an inward phase right now, and knowing that the cycle will repeat and that at some point you will be coming outwards and becoming more extroverted in that way, and your love can be pouring outwards at a point. But knowing the balance of right now is the time for me to be pouring that love into myself, or right now is the time for me to be pouring the love outside of myself. That Three of Pentacles, I think that you're still learning this balance. You're still figuring it out. You're still at the bottom stages of those building blocks that you're working on right now. And knowing that everything is interconnected. That's what this card always says to me, because it's got this braid imagery. It's like all of your experiences are interconnected. And so especially if you're working through something in a current relationship, or if you're single but working through something love related, that you might have to work through old patterns or old experiences that are still sitting within that heart chakra. So let's see what we need to release when it comes to love. This guy wants to come out. Oh, I remember. Nope, that card is not for you. Okay, what you need to release. We've got Justice and we've got the Hermit. Wow. There might be a need to release that you know all. Maybe there's a shedding of an ego. I don't think it's so much ego as much as it just is like exactly the balance that you need right now. You know, I love looking at the differences between Justice and Temperance because they're both about balance. Justice is about that equal, exact balance, whereas Temperance understands that equal doesn't exactly mean just, right? So being able to find the appropriate balance, that's what you are going through. And what you need to release is that things are black and white. Okay, that like 1 pound of gold equals 1 pound of feathers, because in value terms, they don't equal each other, right? 1 pound of gold is going to be exponentially more valuable than 1 pound of feathers. And so I think there's something in your mindset, your opinion, something in that mental space that needs to be released, that you know that what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing. Maybe a surrender to what is being asked of you right now. And this Hermit here, I still think that it's important for you to look within and to sit within and you know, really see what it is that you want, what it is you desire and you need when it comes to love and relationships, what it is you're asking from others in your relationships. That's still very important. But it's also, I think there might be some skewed perspective about what it is you think you need. I think you need to reassess what it is that you need in your relationships. So yeah, just a release of what you think or what you've always thought your desire was, what you've always thought your heart wanted. Yeah, listen to the divine whispers stirring in your heart. The Hermit is all about divine whispers stirring within your heart. I mean, that's so beautiful that the Hermit takes time to seclude themselves and to let themselves sit outside of society or outside of whatever pressures are on them, and instead just sits into their fire and like listens to their fire. So that's what you really need to let go of, is thinking you know exactly what you desire, you need, and what you really want to do here is sit with yourself, release all extremities, all pressures from outside sources, even pressures from inside sources internally, and just sit and listen to what it is that you do desire. Listen to what it is you do want. So let's see what it is you are moving towards when it comes to love. This is the exciting part. What are we looking forward to? Oh, geez. All right. Well, I'm going to take that one because the Lovers came out, and I feel like that is pretty important. Okay. Let's see what else. Let's see what else. Great. Okay. So what is coming up for you? You've got the Lovers. This Lovers specifically does make me think of romance. It makes me think of passion, and it makes me think of intimacy, which is something so different from just passionate, exciting, you know, that like root passion. It's different. That intimacy is being truly close with somebody and sharing your most vulnerable self with somebody. And that's what I see moving forward, is being able to do that, being able to share yourself with somebody else. And it means taking the blindfold off, letting people see you. We've got this Two of Swords here, letting somebody see you for who you really are. And then we've got the Seven of Cups. The choices that you make regarding your love life are very, very important right now. So make sure that you do sit, that you do this hermit activity of sitting and really listening to what it is that you do desire, that you do want. Because the choice that you make, the person that you decide to share yourself with, and the person that you allow to see you for your most vulnerable and intimate self, that is going to be very imperative. That's what I see moving forward, is there is this closeness that you're sharing with somebody. And if it's not romantic, you can still have intimacy in your platonic relationships, right? You can have intimacy with a sibling, with a parent, with a grandparent, just sharing a part of yourself that you haven't allowed yourself to share with anybody, even maybe with yourself. And it could even be that you're sharing that intimacy with yourself, that you're allowing yourself to finally speak some words that have been held within you for so long, that you have put pressure down on and that you've suppressed or oppressed. And so maybe moving forward, it's time to take the blindfolds off and see things for what they really are. See your needs for what they really are. Maybe even see your partner for who they really are. And that doesn't have to be a negative thing. Maybe there's something intimate that they need to share with you, being able to see them clearly. So there's something here about either showing yourself openly, and I think it's honestly both. I think it's a reciprocation of you being able to share yourself openly, intimately, honestly, vulnerably, and then allowing somebody else, that gives them the inspiration or the courage to trust you. That gives them the courage to be themselves around you, and you let yourself see them for who they really are, rather than for what you want them to be, maybe. So not applying so much pressure on the people to be who you want them to be, and also not applying the pressure to yourself to want certain things that you've been told you should want, right? So releasing a lot of pressure. It's really about pressure. Let things just be light when it comes to love right now. It's about finding that balance, this temperance. And temperance is just like a lighter version of justice. Temperance isn't that black and white, this is right, this is wrong. Temperance allows for mistakes. It allows for growth. It allows for progression and evolution. So let yourself evolve through your relationships, through your love right now. I'm going to pull some cards from the Tea Leaf Fortune deck, and let's just see what shows up for you. We've got Dog, protection from a powerful friend. Beautiful. I'm a dog in the Chinese zodiac. Okay, Peacock, beware of great pride. And that could definitely show up as great pride of not wanting to share who you are, not wanting to be intimate or vulnerable with somebody else because you're so proud. It's almost like there's like that stigma about going to therapy. Well, if I go to therapy, then that means I'm admitting there's something wrong with me. Doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It means that you're healing through something, and that's innately human, and that's okay. Sure, why don't we just say, oh, there's something wrong with me? Think of how much weight will be lifted off once you say, oh, there's something wrong. Now you know you can try and fix it, right? By admitting that there's something that needs fixing, that is the first step to actually fixing it. So that Peacock, beware of great pride. Yeah, don't be too proud of whatever it is you're trying to be. gavel, involvement with the law. Interesting. This kind of screams some sort of like divorce settlement or custody or something. So maybe giving yourself some space or giving them space to really open up about the root of why you're in court or why you're involving the law right now. For those of you who are maybe going through a divorce, that's a very tough time, and you're sort of skirting the line, or, you know, skirting the line of what's appropriate, what can you share, what can you talk about, what can be used against me. And that is a really scary place to be with somebody that you used to share such love with. But that gavel just screams justice again to me. You know, it screams being in court, which is justice. So a release of what you think is right, what you've always thought is right. And just, be careful about what is said. Be careful about what is said out of your ego and out of pride. It's really not about what your ego wants. It's about what your higher self wants. And so finding that information is really imperative for you when it comes to love right now. All right, let's pick one more card as a I don't like doing an outcome just because there's no outcome to life, right? Like, life is ongoing. But let's just see what what is the word? The little pinch. Like, I want to cinch this situation up together. We've got the Three of Swords. Wow. So right now, love might not be the forefront. It might not be the easiest part of your life. But make sure that you're not protecting your heart so much that you don't get to experience heart love or heart joy or any sort of warming of the heart. The Three of Swords speaks of self-protection, and sometimes protection is great. Self-preservation sometimes means that you're on the defensive. So make sure that that you're being open-hearted, while still understanding that other people might take advantage of your sweetness. It's just a matter of doing it for you, right? Not doing it for others. And so where normally you would give to others, I want you to do that giving to yourself, right? And so then you're not going to worry. You're not going to be so worried about protecting yourself. But for those of you who are going through this law situation, who might be going through some sort of divorce or court-ordered anything, just be really careful of the way that you move forward. Maybe move forward with some hesitance, with some slowness. It doesn't all have to happen right away. And so taking the time to really see, like this hermit said, taking the time to really see what it is that you want out of the situation. And then once you have some clarity on that, then you can move forward. So maybe moving forward isn't the exact thing you're supposed to be doing right now, but eventually it is once you have a good idea of what it is you want. All right, pile one, I hope that was helpful for you. I really send you so much love, so much care, and so much protection your way. Let me know in the comments below what resonated, what you're going through. I love to hear from you guys. And if you ever want a one-on-one session, astrology, Reiki, tarot, you can do that at my website, harveymountainalchemy.com. So I will see you guys next time. Bye. All right, pile two, I have got your little flower petal card here, Frangipani. And it says, you are truly beautiful on the inside and the outside. So maybe that's just a message you need to hear right now. Seeing as you chose that for yourself, I think there's a part of you that does already know that, but you just need that extra enforcement or support from somebody else. So let's pick a card to see your current situation. I'm going to use this Muse Tarot here. Especially because you have that you are truly beautiful on the inside and out. I see this card as so divinely gorgeous, so divinely beautiful and layered. So let's see what these guys are. Wow. So when it comes to love, we have got where you are now. We've got the Empress and we've got the Three of Swords. So the Empress is all about self-care, self-nurture, self-love, self-appreciation. And the Three of Swords is all about, it's called the Heartbreak card. It's all about self-depreciation or self-deprecation. Really feeling it right now, really feeling the core of your wound being activated. And so I think there's a need or a calling for you to sit in this space, to really care for yourself, to nurture you. Maybe now is, if you're feeling especially strong right now, I hate to say this, if you're feeling strong, let's break it down. But if you're feeling especially capable right now, maybe now is the time to dip into some of the wounds that really need to be healed. And maybe because you're feeling so strong, that healing will happen even quicker. And if you're in the thick of it right now, the opposite is true, right? So you're working on that healing. You need to sit in some of that feeling, some of that healing, but at the same time, you need to separate yourself and make sure that you're taking care of you. And this Empress is so beautiful because she's got the bigger picture down. I mean, under her cloak, under this facade of beauty, is this depth of the universe within her. And I think for you, when it comes to love, you're still dealing with some sort of heartbreak, some sort of pain. And this could certainly be romantic. Absolutely could be romantic. And I also think it could be like familial. You know, it could be your family. There may be some inner child things that need to be dealt with. The Empress rules the mother. So maybe there's something with the relationship of the mother that you're healing through right now. And the Empress, she has this depth within her under this cloak of everything is beautiful and I am creation itself, but this Empress specifically has so much more beneath. And so I think it's important for you to dive into the core of it all. And we even have this being the core right in the heart. At the core of everything she does, she brings heart to it. And so that's where you are right now. You are really sitting in that heart space. You are bringing your heart to the world that you're living in right now. And that's fantastic. But make sure that you're also learning to protect your heart. For those of you that are feeling extremely empathic or empathetic and really feeling the energy of the world around you, this is a tough time because the world, there's so much going on around us right now. And if you allow yourself to take in and absorb and feel everything that's being thrown at us right now, you're simply struggling, you know, and I totally understand that. And that Three of Swords, this Three of Voices here, is all about self-protection and from blocking yourself off from other people's difficulties and other people's pains. So making sure that you are taking the time to set yourself aside from the world. Bigger picture is fantastic. You know, there's sort of a need to balance out the bigger picture for you, where you need to look into what needs to be healed. And sometimes by doing that, you need to look at the bigger picture of where you are versus where you were like 6 months ago or a year ago. But sometimes the bigger picture, if you're feeling especially empathetic and overwhelmed and overstimulated by the world around you, the bigger picture doesn't really help. So then being able to bring yourself into the present moment, the bigger picture of you as an individual person, not you as a society member and how you're contributing to society, which absolutely needs to be focused on, but you also need to focus on your individual self, how you're doing, how you're taking care of yourself. Sorry, some snow just fell off of my house. So where this is going to be a love reading, I'm going to absolutely look at the love aspect of this all. It definitely seems like there's some deeper, more emotional work that needs to be done before you can be fully ready to expose yourself, to give yourself to somebody else. You may still be dealing with maybe a heartbreak from a previous relationship. You may be learning how to protect your heart. You may be learning how to take the protection off, you know, trusting that somebody isn't going to hurt you again. Taking that cloak off like the Empress does here. Look at her. She's revealing herself to the world. So maybe there's something about you don't have to protect yourself all the time. You can be yourself. You can be open. So let's pick a card or two about what you need to let go of right now regarding love. Ooh, okay. We've got 3 cards. Let's see what they are. At the top, we've got the Page of Pentacles. In the middle, we've got the Knight of Wands. And then we've got the 8 of Swords. How interesting. These all feel like messages that have really been kind of thrown at many people that I've been working with recently. It's a lot about you're at a crossroads, you feel like you need to move forward, but you're feeling a little bit stuck. Maybe you're dissociating from the situation you're in right now. But the main thing that we need to let go of is the idea that there is a right move right now, that there is the right thing I'm supposed to do, and I just don't know what it is. And if only somebody gave me the map and told me where to go, then I would be able to handle this situation. And that is sort of the purpose of life. Not that I know a purpose of life or that everybody's purpose is the same way, but the purpose for us to be living as humans is to be able to choose our paths and to allow ourselves to make the decisions rather than facing or asking somebody else to give us the map or give us the answer as to what we're supposed to be doing, right? So what you are doing right now is you are finding yourself, you're finding your path, you're making the choices you're supposed to be making, and maybe you don't know what you're doing, maybe you don't feel like you know what you're doing, and maybe even in the past you were in a relationship that made you feel like you were on the right path and you had a trajectory and you knew what was going on, like that was stable, it was secure, it had a movement forward, right? You knew where you were going, it had a future, and maybe that relationship isn't there anymore, or maybe it is. But for those of you that are experiencing that heartbreak, that ending of that relationship, there's sort of a sense of being lost. Like I had a direction, I had a place that I was moving towards, and now that's not there anymore. So I think for some of you, it is a release of that. It's a release of, okay, you knew where you were going before and now you don't. So time to let that go and sit where you are right now rather than sitting in the, but if only I could still be there. You can't do coulds. We've got the Knight of Wands, so letting go of this Knight of Wands, that there's some sort of beast, that there's some sort of conquering that needs to happen. I feel like there's a big focus on like end game, there's some sort of focus on like, okay, I'm going to do this and then it'll be happily ever after, right? Happily ever after is a continuation of decisions that you make over time, and you create your happily ever after, and right now could be your happily ever after, right? There's no kind of like, okay, I'm going to do this and then I'll be happy. You know, you have to live the happily ever after, so you have to make the choices. There's no conquering, there's no one decision, there's no one thing that's going to fix everything and then I know where I'm going. So a release that like, oh, if only I could find the right thing to do. If you spend all of your time in hypotheticals and like, oh, well, I could try and do this or I could try and do that, but how do I know what's right? You won't know what's right until you do it. So it's time to let go of that and time to take action. I feel like you're mentally stagnating yourself, and this could certainly be in relationships, that you are stagnating where you are because maybe you're living in the past, you're living in an old relationship, maybe you're not dealing with an old relationship. You know, this Eight of Swords, like I'm just not going to think about it, I'm just going to sit right here, going to blindfold myself and gonna barricade myself here in my own thoughts, my own comfort, as a way of protection. So we need to let go of that. We need to let go of any sort of denial, any sort of shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and it's time to move forward. Move forward into what? Let's find out. So we're going to pick some cards from this Light Seers deck as to what we're moving towards right now. Wow. Okay. Two more. All right. Okay. Wow. Beautiful. What we are moving towards. The first one that came out is the Page of Pentacles. Again. So what we were letting go of here was that there's a certain decision that needed to be made that would take me, I need the map, that'll give me the answers, I'll have the answers, and I'll know exactly where I'm going. Where we're moving towards is knowing that where you're going is all stemmed from where you are right now. So in your relationships, in your love life, in your friendships, your family friendships and relationships, the now is what really matters. The being able to say like, oh, wow, I am sitting in the crossroads and I'm enjoying the crossroads that I'm at right now. Or, you know, wow, I really took door A or door B, and that is where I'm sitting right now, and not thinking about what if I had done door C, you know? So really sitting in the present moment, sitting in the value that like other people are bringing to you, but also what you're bringing to them. I see a lot of movement. I see a lot of release. I also see that you may be tempted, right? We've got the Devil here, and we've also got this Knight of Swords. So I feel like there's temptation coming at you in your love life, temptation of movement, of excitement, of something mentally stimulating. That's up to you whether or not you choose to give into that. And I'm not here to tell you like you should or you shouldn't, unless you want me to. But I do think that there's a lot of mental stimulus that needs to be addressed if you do go after that temptation, if you do like move towards it. Honestly, I would, if it were me and it was a friend and I was reading these cards, I would say maybe don't give into that temptation. Acknowledge that it's there. Acknowledge that you have that temptation, and then think about maybe why you're tempted. What is it about your current situation that you're not very satisfied with? And that's why you're focusing your temptation or your energy somewhere else towards some sort of temptation. So be really careful about this. Be really careful about anybody, specifically anybody that is like dragging you in or trying to pull you in or lure you in a way, anything that you're being really tempted by, I would say to address any temptation you have with questions of why am I tempted? What am I not satisfied with my life right now that I feel like this temptation might solve something for me? We've also got this 10 of Swords, where usually the 10 of Swords is all about, you know, like exertion or like mental exertion, a lot of mental energy, maybe even anxiety. This one is about release. And so I think there's some release that needs to happen of your mental patterns, of maybe where you're giving your mental space to, maybe thinking about an ex, maybe thinking about an old friend or a family member that you tried to heal, repair a relationship with, and it didn't work out. So moving forward, it really is about letting go of the past, letting go of the future, and just sitting in the right now. Okay, that Page of Pentacles right here wants you to sit in the right now. That's what matters in your love life right now. All right, I'm going to pull a couple of tea leaf cards. Ooh. We've got Tortoise, slowly but surely getting ahead. Check that out. So yeah, it's not all about moving forward and I need to make moves and make choices and take action. It's really about sitting in the right now. Let's see, we've got Haystack, Karma, you will reap what you have sown. So that temptation is really speaking to me right there with the Devil card, of, you know, if you give in to that, it's feeding into your karma, whether positive or negative, right? Like specifically how what your temptation looks like might not be what somebody else's does. So on top here, we've got Dolphin, financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. Interesting. So by your release of what has happened in the past, you actually gain something financially or value-based. And Archway, new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. And that is in your love life. So that's pretty exciting. New opportunities in your love life. And if you're in a committed relationship right now, that doesn't mean that you'll never have new opportunities, right? It could mean there's another stage in your relationship that you're moving towards. It could mean that there's new opening up to each other that you're really kind of leaning into. So we are going to pick one last card just as a little button on your reading. And let's see what comes up. Here we go. Oh, this card comes up a lot. I love this one. This is the Free Grandma Hugs. It's the 3 of Pentacles. So again, that moving slowly, you know, you don't have to be at that 9, right? 9 is the last stage of completion, or 10 is, you finally completed that thing, and 3 is the first stage of completion, all right? You are just starting out. You are at the beginning of a journey that you're on. Just like the pages, right? You don't have to be the most experienced and know everything, okay? You are just being. You are just being who you are, where you are right now, and just accept that. Allow that. All right, I'm sending you a lot of love. This Empress and 3 of Swords is really staring at me. So for those of you that are hurting right now in the heart, I'm really sorry. And I'm sending you so much love, so much care, so much healing, protection, energy your way. And for those of you that are scared of slowing down, you got this. You're going to kill it. So if you're interested in a one-on-one reading with me, you could do that at harveymountainalchemy.com. I would love to meet some of you guys. In the meantime, feel free to drop in the comments what resonated, what you're going through. Yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye. All right, pile 3. I have got your Carnation card. Keep going, keep growing, be unstoppable. I love that. I love it very much. All right, so we are going to have a look into your love life. Love can absolutely mean you're romantic, so we'll see if that shows up. It could also mean you're platonic, friendships, family relationships, you know, just relationships in general. But I am trying to focus on love just to see what's coming up for us. So we are going to start with this Muse Tarot deck because it's so incredibly gorgeous. It screams love to me. So always want to check the bottom. All right, so where you are right now. Where you are right now in love. Wow. Okay. Feels like you are the boss. You are the boss of your emotions right now. Hell yeah. All right, I'll show you the cards. So the first one that jumped right out is this 10 of Emotions, which is the 10 of Cups. So really in touch with your emotional self, your emotional needs. And if you don't feel like you're in touch, there's something about that's what you're working towards, is getting in touch with really opening up your heart emotionally. And letting yourself see the beauty that is you to continue growing, right? That's what you said. Yeah, keep going, keep growing, be unstoppable. And then on top of that, you also got the Emperor. The Emperor is the epitome of being unstoppable in the tarot. You cannot tell the Emperor to not do something that they have decided they're going to do. And look at this one in particular, just this stance. Like the amount of power that the Emperor has, and in this case over their emotions, that is where you are at right now in your love life. It feels like you are at the zenith of like manifesting what you want in your love life. So if you feel like you are not there, it is time to do some sort of vision board or some sort of written out tangible thing that is you putting out into the universe what you want out of your love life, because you really have the power right now. That Emperor being like, yes, I want this and you're going to bring it to me. That's where you are right now. And so if this means like I'm manifesting another child, or I'm manifesting my wife or my husband or something, you know, really allowing yourself to say that to the universe and to say, hey, just a reminder, this is what I want out of my love life. Really speaking that into fruition, because you do have that power. And there's something really, it could be even that you might be a little overwhelmed by your emotion right now, and that you are being asked to step into your power. You are being asked to be in control of your power, where maybe this 10 of Cups feels like it's too many cups. I can't hold them all. What am I supposed to do with them? The universe is saying, you can handle these cups. You have to go handle these cups. You can do it. Now you just have to do it. So maybe it's something you've been avoiding for too long, and the universe is saying, like, you can't avoid this anymore. We want you to deal with these cups, these emotions. So it's kind of a 50-50. You could be dealing with that, like I just said, or it could be that you are at the fruition of your manifestation of your emotional wants and needs, and it is time for you to really step into your power and really manifest that, because it feels really potent. All right, let's look at what it is you need to release when it comes to your love. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune, putting it up to fate. Release the 10 of Wands and the Moon. Okay. Wow. So, this Wheel of Fortune, I kind of want to sit with this for a second. I always have to sit with the Wheel of Fortune because there are many ways that the Wheel of Fortune could go. And with this, releasing the Wheel of Fortune when it comes to love, releasing that maybe lack mentality that you already have so much. How could I possibly ask for more? Or I mean, this one is specifically on the house of stability, security. Maybe releasing the idea that you just don't get security in your life. You don't get stability. Maybe your stability doesn't look like other people's stability. Maybe you're in a relationship that to others seems really odd, but for you it works. And I mean that it actually works, not that you're just feeling stuck or trapped in a relationship that doesn't work. But if it's unconventional and unstable, but for you it feels stable and you feel secure in your relationship, maybe letting go of whatever it is you've always been told you needed to find when it comes to love. Got this 10 of Wands, and that's what's really screaming the lack mentality to me, is letting go of all the things you think you're supposed to do in order to have like a successful love life or a successful relationship or partnership. That, you know, every relationship looks different. And I really am feeling like there's a lot of people who are in committed relationships here, and that there's some sort of growth that you guys are doing together that needs to be done. And there's sort of a heaviness and emotional weight involved. So remember, you are the Emperor. You can handle that emotional weight. You can deal with it. It doesn't have to be a burden like in this 10 of Wands card. And then we've got the Moon, letting go of, again, maybe that emotional weight. It doesn't have to be so heavy. It can be lighter. It can be fortunate. You can be blessed. You can be fortunate. You can be abundant, and you can manifest, right? Really being able to believe in that power that you do hold, that the Emperor holds. This Emperor, something about it is so powerful. The way that she controls her power and her capability. So letting go of any sort of lack mentality, of any sort of, well, my relationship doesn't look like that, or like my version of love doesn't look like that. Sit with what your version of love looks like and accept that. Accept your version of love. Don't judge it. So moving forward, what do we need to know regarding love? Okay, Knight of Cups, maybe some romance coming your way. And maybe it's you initiating that romance. Okay, definitely that romance is beautiful. This is too many. I can't deal with that. Okay. We've got 3 of Swords. We've got the 6 of Pentacles. Interesting. So the Three of Swords has come up for every single pile, which is really interesting. What you are moving towards, what you're progressing into. We've got this Knight of Cups, which to me really does scream romance. Allowing, maybe it's even romancing yourself, or maybe it's romancing your partner. Maybe it's not. Maybe you need to stop expecting romance from others, and maybe you need to initiate the romance. What do you want? If you want the romance, maybe you need to initiate it and begin that. Maybe taking the pressure off somebody else, because putting the pressure on somebody, setting expectations on somebody else, and then them maybe not meeting those really high expectations just leads to disappointment, and that could lead to heartbreak. So stop putting the expectations on somebody else. It's kind of up to you to bring what you want to the table. Maybe even as an example, right? If you're with somebody and they're not very romantic and you keep reminding them, like, this is what I want some sort of romance, you do it first and say, this is what I mean. When I say I want romance, I want something like this. And I get that of like, well, I just want them to want to do it. Maybe they just don't know what you want. And so you need to say it. You need to give them something tangible, right? You need to give it to them so that then they can reciprocate it and they know what it is that you actually want in return. So that's one example of that. The Knight of Cups and the Three of Swords, there could be some sort of breakup that happens for some of you, just because, you know, I have to say that if there's a Three of Swords and the Knight of Cups there, it just feels very much like there could definitely be some sort of breakup. Maybe an exchanging of items after a breakup, of having to give somebody their stuff back or having to get your stuff back. Maybe even some sort of like exit interview of a breakup, of communicating what went wrong, what wasn't efficient, or even maybe even not in a breakup, just communicating with your partner what is and isn't working and really being open. I know I'm focusing a lot on those with long-term commitments, because I am hearing that a lot of like people who are already in relationships, they've met their person. For those of you that haven't met your person yet or aren't in a long-term committed relationship, a lot of this stands true still. That lack mentality of needing to let go of the thought that you don't deserve, or you just don't get that luck, you just don't get that blessing, that love in your life. Maybe you need to seek elsewhere for that love too, right? Maybe you need to be looking to your friends for love right now. Maybe romantic love isn't at the forefront right now. But I do see that moving forward, there's some sort of intensity. That's what I'll call it, because it doesn't have to be heartbreak. There's some sort of intensity when it comes to romance. There's some sort of funneling down, like really needling in on romance being the focus. So it's important for you to give just as much as you take, and it's important to take just as much as you give. So keeping that in mind is going to be really important for you too. So let's see what comes out of these tea leaf fortune cards. Oop. We've got Rooster, an arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. So not making somebody angry is going to be important for you. We've got Flute, disappointment in a friend or lover. And this is exactly what I was saying about setting expectations and then them not meeting them because maybe they're a little high or unrealistic. And then, you know, that disappointment that follows. So really showing somebody what it is you truly want. Hand, in need of help, assistance, and guidance. Yeah, I feel that for like the other person, they need help, they need assistance, they need to be told what to do. And is that what you wanted? Maybe not. You know, I want them to want to give me a love letter. I want them to want to take me out on a date. Maybe they just need a little assistance as to what it is that you want, right? Because you guys might have different wants, and that doesn't mean that it's a bad thing or that you guys are in a dysfunctional relationship all the time. Diamond, you'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. That's beautiful. That's fantastic. So in your love life, yes, maybe there's an arrogant, boastful person that you shouldn't cross. There might be some disappointment, but you know, people need the assistance. People need to be boosted. People need the support. And in order to do that, we have to give. And so giving and taking is really, really important for you right now, I can see in this. So we're going to pick one last card, which is going to be the little button on the reading. Woo, okay, here we go. Wow, this card is beautiful. This hasn't come up for me. This is the Queen of Pentacles. Wow, this is so beautiful. The Queen knows what she wants. The Queen of Pentacles knows what she wants, what she values, what is important. So reminding yourself what is really important here. Are you just in it for the gifts? Are you just in it for validation? Make sure that you are really in it for the right reasons, and knowing your values is going to be really important during this time. That is really beautiful. I love that card. All right, pile 3. I hope that was helpful for you. I hope that wasn't too harsh. I'm sending you guys a lot of love, a lot of support. Seriously, I really do mean it. I love to hear from you guys, so feel free to drop a comment below what resonated, what you're going through. And if you want to book a one-on-one session, you can do that with me at harveymountainalchemy.com. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.